Good evening. You're watching the news at 6 with me, Ishan Russell. The news at 6 is all about the day's biggest developing stories, and we'll be filling you in on them over the next half hour. But first, the headlines that we're tracking right now. Government indicates date for winter session could be advanced, says it's ready to convene Parliament immediately after the Bihar elections to pass key reform bills. BJP denies differences among allies as NDA fails to decide seat sharing ahead of the Bihar Assembly elections. Rajasthan also joins the ban on meat sale while Sena and the MNS flout orders in Maharashtra. The High Court orders beef ban should be strictly enforced in Jammu and Kashmir. And it's double triumph for India. The US Open, Martina Hingis partners Sania Mirza and Leander Paes to secure finals berth in the mixed doubles events. Well, top story this evening, the government has hinted that the forthcoming winter session of Parliament could be preponed to pass key reform measures. This comes a day after the cabinet decided to prorogue the monsoon session, ruling out a special session for the GST amendment bill. Now, on Thursday, both the ruling BJP and the key opposition Congress traded charges over who is responsible for stalling the crucial tax reform.
On Wednesday, the cabinet decided to prorogue the monsoon session, ruling out a special session of Parliament to move the GST amendment bill in the upper house. A day later, BJP and Congress stepped up the rhetoric over the bill, blaming each other for scuttling it. Addressing the World Hindi Conference in Bhopal, Prime Minister Narendra Modi targeted the key opposition party, accusing it of obstructing the bill during the monsoon session.
एक के बाद एक संसद में जो निर्णय हुए हैं और उसमें भी काले धन के खिलाफ जो कठोर कानून बनाया है, उसके कारण जो हवालाबाज है, और इसलिए ये हवालाबाजों की जमात लोकतंत्र में रुकावटें पैदा करने का प्रयास कर रही है.
Modi's jibe came 2 days after Congress President Sonia Gandhi's remark on the performance of the government. Congress blamed the ruling party for not doing enough to end the deadlock during the monsoon session.
The blame of the deadlock or logjam in Parliament lies squarely with the Prime Minister and with the BJP government. And I would also like to remind the Prime Minister and his ministers that they should reflect and think twice before they accuse the opposition of disruption.
To make for the lost time during the previous session, the government hinted at a preponed winter session and keep ample time to push key legislations.
The need of the hour is to bury the past and look to future of country. We must work together more than numbers in Parliament. Broader understanding on national priorities is very important.
In the last 2 days of the monsoon session, the government tried to move the GST amendment bill twice but failed in the face of consistent pressure from the opposition. However, the government still hopes to meet its April 2016 deadline to roll out the new tax regime. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now on to news from the Bihar Assembly elections, and NDA leaders continue to hold meetings to formulate a seat-sharing deal between allies for the Bihar Assembly polls. For the second day, former CM Jitan Ram Manjhi met BJP leader Anant Kumar in Delhi amid hints of a feud between him and LJP President Ram Vilas Paswan. However, the BJP assured that there is no differences among its allies and a seat-sharing deal will be finalized soon.
The countdown has begun for the Bihar polls, and the NDA has stepped up its effort to finalize seat-sharing deals among the allies. Hectic talks continued in Delhi as HAMS chief Jitan Ram Manjhi met BJP leader Anant Kumar for the second day on Thursday. His tussle with LJP chief Ram Vilas Paswan over Dalit leadership has put the alliance in a spot. RLSP chief and Union Minister Upendra Kushwaha also met Anant Kumar to discuss possible seat share agreement.
हम लोगों ने अपनी पार्टी राष्ट्रीय लोक समता पार्टी की ओर से एक पत्र लिखकर श्री अमित शाह जी से कहा है कि जो भी तय करना हो भारतीय जनता पार्टी तय करे। हम लोग बिल्कुल उनके निर्णय से सहमत होंगे, कहीं कोई कठिनाई नहीं होगी, लेकिन जल्दी तय हो जाए। निर्णय भारतीय जनता पार्टी को लेना चाहिए।
मेरे भाई उपेंद्र कुशवाहा जी ने अभी माननीय राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष भारतीय जनता पार्टी अमित शाह जी को एक पत्र लिख करके भारतीय जनता पार्टी ये टिकटों के वितरण के बारे में वो निर्णय करे, ऐसे जो उन्होंने प्रस्ताव रखा है ये बहुत सराहनीय है और इसका मैं स्वागत करता हूं।
According to sources, BJP wants a lion's share of seats, but allies, especially LJP and RLSP, have sought more seats for themselves. These two parties helped BJP sweep Bihar in the Lok Sabha polls last year. The three parties won 31 out of 40 seats. Jitan Ram Manjhi too wants a fair share as well, but BJP has so far been non-committal. NDA will be locked in a tight contest with the Janata Parivar alliance, who have already finalized seat-sharing deal and is upbeat to stop the BJP-led alliance from returning to power in Bihar.
180 हमारे गठबंधन को आएगा। आप कोई माने न माने, आज जो लोग मेहनत किए हैं अपना ठीक है बोल रहे हैं, लेकिन 180 आएगा। आज नरेंद्र मोदी को बिहार आईना दिखाएगा।
Bihar will go to polls in 5 phases spread over a month starting October 12th. The results will be declared on 8th of November. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And our correspondent Shyam Sundar has been tracking the story for us and he joins us live. Shyam, as far as the BJP and the NDA partnership is concerned, I mean, all's not well on the other side because we had Mulayam Singh walking out of that alliance, but over here all's not well within this alliance as well.
Well, two very important allies of BJP, Upendra Kushwaha and Jitan Ram Manjhi, they have authorized BJP and they have given a letter to Mr. Amit Shah that they authorize BJP to decide on seat sharing in NDA. But if you read between the lines what Jitan Ram Manjhi said, he said that there is no doubt that it is a new party and it was formed in February only. But he is former Chief Minister of Bihar and he is old hand in Bihar politics. So he said that his claim is no less than Upendra Kushwaha or Mr. Ramvilas Paswan. So he is a person who is not going to surrender easily in front of BJP. Though Mr. Anant Kumar is saying that there will be respectable share given to every ally of BJP in Bihar, but it is going to be a difficult task because BJP wants to contest at least between 140 to 150 seats in Bihar, and in that case there are not much seats because even parties like LJP and Rashtriya Lok Samata Party, they are claiming more than 50 seats and they expect that at least between 40 to 50 seats they will get, and Jitan Ram Manjhi is not going to settle less than the seats RLSP or LJP are getting. So of course at this point of time they don't want to give any indication that there is any problem in NDA camp, but of course it will be going to a difficult task for BJP to decide on this issue.
All right, Shyam, the biggest problem that the BJP itself perhaps is facing, and many critics are also pointing that out, that there is no chief ministerial candidate for the BJP. Sushil Modi, of course, was the former deputy chief minister, but he is not being projected. The BJP still trying to ride the Modi wave, but given your sources within the alliance, how does this affect the seat sharing talks, that the fact that the BJP has no major face?
There are two important issues. If you compare both the alliances, on one hand there is RJD, JDU and Congress. So they have clear-cut chief ministerial candidate, Mr. Nitish Kumar. He will be leading the campaign, and none other than Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav. He in Delhi announced that he accepts Nitish Kumar as leader of the alliance. And we have seen Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. She attended rally in Gandhi Maidan held by this grand alliance. And on the other side, if you talk about BJP, they after the Delhi elections experience, they don't want to declare any chief minister, and the reason is because there are more than one claimant for the chief minister's post, and BJP doesn't want any factionalism before elections, so they have decided to go with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi as their chief campaigner, and he has already addressed 4 rallies in Bihar, though those rallies were very well attended, but not having a chief ministerial candidate is, of course, will give a chance to opposition to attack NDA. And of course, we have seen that grand alliance of JDU, RJD and Congress, they have decided on seat sharing. So RJD and JDU, they will be contesting 100 seats each. So on both those issues, the grand alliance is ahead of NDA.
All right, the Grand Alliance is still marginally ahead, but let's wait and watch whether the Modi wave still works in Bihar. That's what the BJP is banking on, and still some time to go as far as that seat sharing is concerned. But Shyam, thank you very much for coming in and helping us understand this a little better. Well, we'll of course have continued coverage of the Bihar Assembly elections every day at 6 p.m. in our special segment, Verdict 2015. Now, after Mumbai, the ban on the sale of meat has been imposed in Rajasthan. It will be enforced for 3 days during the Jain festival. And now in Mumbai, mutton traders have approached the High Court against the order. The MNS also joined the meat sellers' ranks, promising to defy the order. Meanwhile, the Jammu and Kashmir High Court, on the other hand, has ordered the state government to enforce a beef ban in the state. Here's a story on the story of bans.
Mumbai's meat ban spilled onto the streets on Thursday, taking a political colour. Defying an order passed by the BMC, both Shiv Sena and MNS opened roadside stalls to sell meat. The Mumbai Municipal Corporation had banned the sale of meat for 4 days on the 10th, 13th, 17th and 18th of September. This was done in the wake of the Jain festival Paryushan. After Mumbai, Rajasthan also announced a ban on the sale of meat and fish for 3 days of the Jain festival.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने कोई भी ऐसा निर्णय नहीं किया है और जहां तक शिवसेना के नेताओं का बयान का प्रश्न है, मैं उनको इतना ही कहूंगा कि दे सकते हैं, उनका हम स्वागत करेंगे।
ये जो बैन लगाने की बात है, तो ये आज़ादी के जो है विरुद्ध है। ये तो जितनी चीज़ों पर आप पाबंदी लगाएंगे, प्रतिबंध लगाएंगे, तो वो जो है उसकी भावना है संविधान की, जो आज़ादी और स्वतंत्रता लोगों की, तो उससे जो है वो खत्म होती है, वो भावना पे चोट पहुंचती है।
पर्युषण पर्व का मतलब ही सीधा सीधा यही है कि अहिंसा परमो धर्म के सिद्धांत पे जैन समाज चलता है और किसी प्रकार की जो अहिंसा है उसको रोके। तो मैं समझता हूँ इशू बनाने का कोई विषय नहीं है। ऐसे काम है जिसको सोसाइटी अलाउ नहीं करती।
The J&K High Court also ordered a ban on sale of beef across the state after hearing a PIL. The court said it hurts the religious sentiments of a section of society.
It's a debate which is in process in the whole of country whether the food habits of the people should be codified by the state or not. People know what the eating sensitivities are. So I think these things should be left to the people.
The BJP, which rules both Maharashtra and Rajasthan, has said that the decision was taken by the civic bodies and the state government has no role to play in it. The Bombay High Court will take up the plea of mutton traders on Friday. They have approached the court saying the ban on the sale of meat discriminates against their right to a livelihood. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, the Director General level talks between the chiefs of the Border Security Force and Pakistan Rangers began in the national capital today. The biennial meet was held after a gap of over a year. The last meeting happened in December 2013. The Director General of BSF, D.K. Pathak, and the Chief of the Pakistan Rangers, Major General Burki, led their respective delegations for the 3-day talks. While there are 23 delegated from the Indian side, 15 Pakistani delegates have arrived. The meet gained significance amid rising tensions along the line of control. The two sides raised the issue of frequent ceasefire violations. There will also be discussion on different levels of communication, more simultaneous coordinated patrolling and other confidence-building measures. The concluding session and signing of the joint record of discussions will be done on Saturday. The Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi began his 4-day Save Farmers March in Odisha's capital, Bhubaneswar, today. The tour aims to highlight the BJP-led NDA government's failure to address the plight of farmers in the drought-hit state. While addressing a public gathering, Rahul Gandhi attacked the centre for neglecting farmers and emphasized that farmer suicides have increased over the year. He also met family members of Sanand Kumar, who had recently committed suicide due to abject poverty.
मोदी सरकार जो देश को अपना खून पसीना देता है, जो रोज देश को अपना खून पसीना देता है, उसको भूल गई। हिंदुस्तान की गरीब जनता को भूल गई और जो चुने हुए 2-3 बड़े-बड़े उद्योगपति हैं, सूट बूट की सरकार उनके लिए पूरा का पूरा काम कर रही। हम किसानों के लिए लड़ेंगे, मजदूरों के लिए लड़ेंगे, गरीब लोगों के लिए लड़ेंगे और उनकी जो लड़ाई, उनके जो मुद्दे हैं वो हम उठाएंगे।
For some more national news and updates, let's now take you nationwide. 3 students at the Film and Television Institute of India have started an indefinite hunger strike demanding the removal of Gajendra Chauhan as chairman. The strike marks 3 months of the protest with no concrete solution yet to the deadlock. The National Investigation Agency has announced 7 lakh rupees reward on SS Kaplan, chief of NSCNK, and a 10 lakh rupee reward on Nikki Sumi, the outfit's military commander. The reward has been announced in connection with the killing of 18 army personnel by the outfit in June this year. The announcement comes even as the government recently signed the Naga Peace Accord in its effort to bring together disparate Naga groups. The Supreme Court has set aside the Delhi High Court order permitting the recall and re-examination of 13 witnesses, including the victim in the Uber rape case. The High Court had allowed the recall of witnesses on the plea of the accused Shiv Kumar Yadav. The Apex Court also raised questions on Yadav's move to seek recall of witnesses, saying the resulting delay in trial was causing harassment to the victim. Time for us to take a quick break, but coming up on the other side, as the migrants flock to Europe, Denmark shuts the border with Germany, while Hungary calls in the army to check the influx. More on that on the other side.
Parliament prorogued. Hopes dashed of a special session to pass the GST bill. Is bitter politics making Parliament dysfunctional? Watch the big picture at 6:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. And now another terrible day for the stock markets. The benchmark Sensex extended its losing streak of last week to end the day at the lowest level in 14 months. It closed at 25,622, losing over 97 points. The Nifty regained below the 7,800 mark to finish at 7,788, down by 30 points. The rupee also weakened by 27 paise to settle at 66 rupees and 82 paise to a dollar. Markets in Asia were mostly lower as economic data for Japan and China made investors cautious. However, worries about the Chinese slowdown and the impact of the US interest rate hike also dented investor confidence. And China itself is displaying immense confidence and optimism in the face of an economic slowdown. Speaking to global investors at the summer Davos in its port city of Dalian, Premier Li Keqiang said that the country will never advocate a currency war. He promised a bright future for the economy, calling for international cooperation in difficult times.
Chinese Premier Li Keqiang sought to allay fears of global business leaders at the summer Davos. Keqiang assured them that the Chinese economy that has caused fluctuations in global markets the last few weeks is running within a proper range. He said though it is growing at a slow rate, it is characterized by resistance and self-recovery.
走势是缓中趋稳，稳中向好，但稳中有难。总体上，机遇大于挑战，正是大众的
Li pointed out that even under the current circumstance, China achieved 7% growth in the first half of 2015, which is no easy task. China's contribution was 30% of the world economic growth. Li also said structural reforms being brought about target long-term stability and sound development.
不论他们成功与否，可以说他们是在扮演着新领军者的角色。
China is still struggling to stabilize the yuan after its surprise devaluation, but denied it being for a currency war.
中国绝不主张打货币战。我们讲国际产能合作，难免有竞争，但是如果我们合作起来，
The Premier stressed that it has become increasingly urgent for all countries to work together to get the global economy back on track. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, the migrant crisis continues to embroil Europe. In fact, the refugees push further northwards on Thursday, with Denmark closing its border with Germany under the strain of the influx. Hungary, on the other hand, is taking the help of its military to guard its border.
Despite its plans to redistribute refugees across the continent on Wednesday, the European Union is struggling for a common response to the growing migrant crisis. On Thursday, the issue escalated tension in Denmark and Hungary. In Denmark, a major ferry crossing from Germany was partly closed after hundreds of migrants refused to disembark on arrival, insisting to be taken northwards to Sweden. Scuffles between police and refugees on Wednesday had led to a motorway and rail links with Germany being closed. Meanwhile, Hungary announced plans to send its army to guard its southern borders, where thousands of migrants are arriving from Serbia every day. A new razor wire barrier is already under construction along the frontier.
In Syria, Iraq and beyond, we are doing everything possible to save lives. We need political will and we need funds. All those with influence must rise above their narrow interest and work for the greater good of the region and our world.
Despite the appeal for unity, European nations continue with their individual responses. While Germany and Sweden have generous policies for refugees, nations like Hungary, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Poland and Romania are opposing mandatory quotas. Meanwhile, the Greek island of Lesbos, Hungary-Serbia border, Hungarian-Austrian border and Macedonia's border with Greece remain in focus of the crisis.
Und ich denke, dieses Modellprojekt zusammen mit der Bundesagentur für Arbeit und dem BAMF steht stellvertretend für das, was wir in den nächsten Monaten erreichen wollen, dass möglichst viele mit der Entscheidung für einen genehmigten Aufenthaltsstatus dann auch gleich.
Interior ministers of European nations, meanwhile, are preparing for a crucial meeting on Monday to agree on mandatory quotas. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Time for some more international news now in Global Buzz. Flooding and landslides in northeastern Japan forced over 90,000 people to abandon their homes. Areas of Japan are on high alert as heavy rains and flooding continued for the second day after Typhoon Ito. Helicopter rescue teams plucked people from rooftops. Japanese authorities said the final tally of the damage will take some time to be computed. The Islamic State group is demanding ransom for the release of a Chinese and a Norwegian hostage. The extremist group posted their photos advertising them for sale in the latest issue of its online magazine, Dabik. The Chinese national was identified as a freelance consultant from Beijing, while the Norwegian was said to be an Oslo resident. The US and NATO expressed concern over reports that Russia is increasing military presence in Syria. The NATO chief said Russia's involvement will not help resolve the conflict. In fact, the NATO chief joined other Western leaders in calling for a political rather than a military solution to the 4-year-old multi-sided civil war, which has seen the deaths of over 250,000 people and driven half of Syria's 23 million population from their home. Time for some sports now, and on day 10 of the US Open, world number 2 Roger Federer and Stan Wawrinka marched on with straight sets victories to set up an all-Swiss semi-final. Women's second seed Simona Halep and Italian Flavia Pannetta also advanced to the semis. It was a big day for Indians as well, with both Sania Mirza and Leander Paes winning their respective doubles matches to reach the finals.
World number 2 Roger Federer was in sublime form, beating Frenchman Gasquet 6-3, 6-3, 6-1.
Playing Isner in the previous round and seeing those massive serves come down, so it was, I don't know, I just felt like I had extra time, because I played Isner before and that helped me a lot on the return, and then my serve worked very well at a very high first serve percentage. Was able to stay aggressive and enjoy myself out there, so it was a great match.
Federer won without facing a single break point. He next meets French Open winner Stan Wawrinka in an all-Swiss semi-final. Wawrinka produced a dominant display to shrug off South African Kevin Anderson 6-4, 6-4, 6-0. 6-4, 6-4, 6-4. In the women's draw, second seed Simona Halep moved closer to her first Grand Slam singles title after edging Victoria Azarenka 6-3, 4-6, 6-4 in a rain-interrupted match. The Romanian will play 26th seed Flavia Pannetta in the semi-finals after the Italian came from a set down to beat two-time Wimbledon champion Petra Kvitova 4-6, 6-4, 6-2. With compatriot Roberta Vinci already in the last 8, it will be the first time in the Open era that two Italian women have made it to the last 4 of the same Grand Slam.
I'm really happy. I didn't think to get through this match, I have to say. In the second set I was really in trouble, but I was just keep going, playing, and it's unbelievable.
It's looking a little lopsided. There have been
women's doubles top seed Sania Mirza and a Swiss partner Martina Hingis cruised into the finals after beating Italian duo Sara Errani and Flavia Pannetta 6-4, 6-1. Hingis then paired with Leander Paes in the mixed doubles to beat second seeds Rohan Bopanna and Yuan Jan Chan 6-2, 7-5. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Time now for all the other sporting action in Sports Speed. Saina Nehwal's campaign ended in the Japan Open Badminton Tournament after she lost to the unseeded Japanese Mitani 21-13, 21-16 in just 40 minutes in the second round. The 185th ranked Mitani proved to be a better player despite playing a tight 3-game match against Sindhu on Wednesday. London Olympics quarter-finalist Purupalli Kashyap was the only Indian left in the fray in the Japan Open Badminton Tournament. In the men's singles second-round match, unseeded Kashyap created an upset, defeating third-seed K. Srikanth 21-11, 21-19 to enter the last 8. Kashyap defeated Srikanth in a contest that lasted 45 minutes. ISL team Atletico de Kolkata co-owner Sourav Ganguly confirmed that not only Brazilian great Pele but England superstar Wayne Rooney will also be visiting India this year. The former cricket captain said that the Rooney is coming as part of the second edition of the franchise-based tournament that kicks off in Chennai on the 3rd of October. Well, that's all from us. Goodbye.